A very good afternoon and a warm welcome to, wait for it, a sunny Saturday here at the Hana Financial Group Singapore Women's Open. Timothy Low here welcoming you to the Tanah Country Club's Tampines course for day 3 action of the season opening event of the 2024 KLPGA Tour season. Great to have your company this Saturday in the Lion City, and it's great to see that the weather is finally cooperating. We had 3 rain delays over the course of the first 2 rounds here at the Tampines course, but the skies have cleared, the sun is out to play, the course is starting to bear its teeth in these slightly warmer conditions, and we're set for what should be a captivating weekend contest. Here are the groups that we'll keep an eye on today. Patty Tavatanakit in the company of Lee Soo-jin 3 and the amateur sensation 15-year-old Oh Soo-min. They went off at 12:40 local time. And just behind them, Hwang Yo-min in her sophomore season on the KLPGA Tour, alongside Hyun Se Lin and the former winner on the KLPGA Tour, Jun Yi-sung. Going off in your final group for this third round, a very interesting cast of characters. Kim Jae-hee, who turns 23 on Sunday, takes the lead into today by a single shot over Park Do-eun, who's never kept a card on the KLPGA Tour, and the big-hitting Bang Shin-sil. 2 victories last year in her rookie campaign, a golf course that should set up well for the big-hitting 20-year-old. Kim Jae-hee took a 1-shot lead into the weekend stages of play, and look at that, doesn't make for a pretty picture. Sunny skies up ahead, a pretty warm 32 degrees Celsius, fairly humid conditions as we get in this part of the world. Singapore just being 1 degree north of the equator. 63% humidity, and the breeze is coming out of the northeast today. And this is how your leaderboard stacks up as we join the action this Saturday at Tanah. Kim Jae-hee had a little bit of a wobble on the third hole with a double bogey, but reeled off 3 straight birdies to get herself up to 11 under par. Great moves from Oh Soo-min, So Yeon-jung, and Jung Yoon-ji. I'll have them on the first page of the leaderboard. So this is Oh Soo-min. Prodigious young talent this player is. The only player in the field still bogey-free this week, and that's no mean feat around the Tampines course. It does give that a good pop. A lot of speed. Tee's been moved up here on the 9th, making it drivable today. Only needed a 3-wood there for Oh Soo-min, and that is an eagle opportunity for the South Korean teenager. Drop back to the 8th, and somewhere behind our mini leaderboard, there she is Hwang Yo-min, who's found the green in 2. Putting from the back edge, this one going to be working uphill all the way. And lackluster at best for last season's Daiwinia MBN Ladies Open champion. 10-shot improvement yesterday from her opening round of 73, 10 birdies and a 63 for Hwang Yo-min. A lot of eyes would have been on Patty Tavatanakit to start the week. 4th week in a row, teeing it up. Patty T back in the winner's circle after a dominant victory at the Riyadh Golf Club on the Ladies European Tour, the Aramco Saudi Ladies International, and one in her homeland of Thailand at the Honda LPGA Championship, 2nd LPGA Tour title. And it's the 2nd week in a row in Singapore for the 24-year-old Thai. Tied for 8th last week at Sentosa Golf Club, the HSBC Women's World Championship, and here she is inside the top 5 at the Hana Financial Group Singapore Women's Open. Carries a 3-wood and a 5-wood Patty. I believe that was a 5-wood, just trying to roast one up there. Going to catch the green side bunker. Once again, kudos to the tournament committee moving up this tee on 9, making it interesting, making it exciting as a drivable par 4. Now go back to Jun Yi-sung, former Celtrion Queens champion a couple of seasons ago. This is a birdie look, and that is a birdie found for Jen Yi-sung. Nice bounce back after her drop shot at the 7th, so gets her back to where she began the weekend at 8 under. It's just been a string of pars for Hwang Yo-min so far today. She'd love for that to come to an end with this birdie opportunity at the par 5. Oh, well done. It's going to count as a 2-putt. She had to work for it. The count is open for the day for Hwang Yo-min. Goes into that share of 4th at 9 under par. And what a leaderboard we have shaping up already. Jung Yoon-ji's made some good moves today. Went out in 33. Picked up another birdie at 10 before dropping one at 11. There's a chance for Yoon-ji to get to that group at 9. Really accessible pin today on 12, and that little bowl in the front section of the green. Just a fraction high there for Jung. Just the one KLPGA Tour title for her. Many feel and expected she should have lifted more silverware. Certainly possesses the game and talent to do so. This looks like the 15th hole, or the 8th hole, beg your pardon. Bang Shin Sil. Get home in 2. Really, if you're going to go for this green, you have the firepower. You need to go long with your second. Short is not an easy up and down. You can see why. There's that big protruded ridge, just about 5 paces short of that pin position. It's going to take some deft touch to get it close from there from Shin Sil. There's some moving and shaking
안녕하십니까.
atop the leaderboard, and it's good to see here in Singapore.
봄을 알리는 설레임이 가득한 3월 KLPGA 투어의 새로운 시작을 알리는 하나금융그룹 싱가포르 여자 오픈이 타나메라 컨트리 클럽에서 여러분을 맞이하게 되었습니다. 전 세계 25개국 216개 글로벌 네트워크를 보유한 저희 하나금융그룹은 아시아 태평양 지역의 금융 허브인 이곳 싱가포르에서 세계 최강으로 꼽히는 K골프를 전 세계에 알리며 아시아 태평양 지역 여자 골프의 부흥을 이끌고자 합니다. 하나금융그룹은 지난 20여 년간의 국제대회 개최 노하우를 바탕으로 이번 대회에도 아시아 태평양 지역을 대표하는 108명의 최정상급 선수들을 초청하였고, 이곳 타나메라 컨트리 클럽에서 펼쳐질 나흘간의 선의의 경쟁을 통해 가슴 벅찬 감동과 기쁨을 선사할 예정입니다. 현장에서 함께 해주실 많은 갤러리 분들과 방송을 통해 대회를 시청하시는 골프 팬들의 많은 관심과 성원을 부탁드리며 세계 최고 수준의 선수들이 펼치는 환상적인 플레이를 마음껏 즐겨주시기 바랍니다. 항상 여러분의 건강과 평안을 기원하겠습니다. 감사합니다.
And of course, massive thanks to our sponsors here this week at the Singapore Women's Open. The Hana Financial Group do so much to support not only women's golf in South Korea and around the Asia-Pacific region, but also the men's golf. Hana Financial Group and their subsidiaries have a lot to be proud of. It's a great championship here in Singapore, and long may it continue. A popular place to start the year for these ladies. Now, Kim Jae-hee had to sleep on the lead last night. Never an easy thing to do, has to be said. She's acquitted herself well after that really rocky start. Important here, she makes sure she finds that top plateau. Coming out of the left rough, should expect a little release. Pitched a little soft on her, and it's going to be a little testy 2-putt. So Patty, a lot of sand to cover here before it gets on the green. Hole's cut just at the start of that back plateau. Got to keep good acceleration here. Wonderfully played by Tavatanakit. Currently second on the LPGA Tour money list through the first 4 events. Just over $300,000 banked. Park Doan, quite the story here. 25-year-old, turned pro back in 2016. Kept her card by the skin of her teeth last season. Got the last available card, 60th on the money list. That's a stunner into the 8th. So eagle opportunity now for Su Min. Come over this big hump in the middle of the green. Slow to start, speeds up once you get off the backside of it. Anything within 4 feet's a pretty good effort. She'll have that for a front 9 of 3 under par 33. So Shinsil, graduate of Bebong High School, turned pro straight after completing her education. It's been a good decision so far, but short game's going to be tested here. Really think she's got to play one low, try and chase it. That's the pickup speed there. Settle down. Settle down. Okay. It's not bad. At least she's left herself on the correct side of the hole now. So putting uphill. Let the KLPGA Tour in driving distance for the 2023 season. Just over 260 yards off the tee. Lee Soo-jin 3. Another player who could really use a good solid week here. This for a par. Oh, that's well holed. 27-year-old who's got a combined career earnings total of 460 million won. She has been a pro for 10 years, coming on 11 now. So not all sunshine and roses in this game. I can promise you that. Players certainly do get put through the ringer. Now, your tournament leader, she would have seen Bang Shin-sil's chips, so she knows it does start to gather pace once you crest this ridge. I'll happily take 2 putts from here. Oh, didn't give it enough to get over the hump, and that's a bit of a mistake. Doesn't she know it? Because now she's got a slippery par-saving putt. Not one that she'll be able to center the hole with much pace at all. So potential 2-shot swing looms. Oh, Su Min for a birdie at 9 to get to 11 under. Stay up. Just didn't hit it. Still, despite that 3-putt at 9, bogey free through 45 holes at the Tampines course for the teenager. For the moment, sits 1 back. Now Shin-sil, as quick as her ball was traveling past the hole from the other side, this is going to be slow coming back up that rise. And as a result, just loses that a little low. Oh, Patty Tavatanakit, who also can send the ball out a long way, found this green in 2 and walked off with a 3-putt par. She's got a chance to make amends here. Get herself into a share of second at 10 under. This one just wanders right as it gets to the cup. Beautifully holed. Great up and down. Patty T, much like her playing partner Oh Soo Min, turns in 2 under par 34. And was said on Thursday, she's definitely going to be there or thereabouts come the weekend, and well, she is there. Through 9 holes on Saturday. Should be in a tie for the lead if this doesn't go for Kim Jae-hee. It's a par putt at 8. Oh, and that is going to fill her with so much confidence. Sometimes in golf, not dropping a shot feels better than picking one up. She made hard work of it, and all that matters is number 5 in her scorecard under that 8th hole. Now across to the back 9, and Jung Yun-ji seems to leave herself a lot of putts from this range. This for birdie. Good tempo on the stroke and a good result. Certainly seems to be putting a little freer this season, and it's showing. 5th birdie of the day to move Jung Yun-ji within 2 shots of Kim Jae-hee. Talked about the journeyman travels of Park Do-won. This will be a nice birdie. Brave approach shot. And a great putt there. Well holed. It's only dropped 1 shot all week long. Park finds herself now in the thick of the action as the final group of the day head up to the par 4 9th, which has been made a drivable par 4 today with the tees being pushed up, so only playing 229 meters. That fairway bunker, about 100-yard shot, not going to come into play. This massive greenside bunker on the left certainly will. It's a green that has plenty of humps and hollows, lots of undulation around here. Most players can get to this hole, get to this green, I should say, even with a 3-wood. Understandably so, a bit of a traffic jam back on this tee. This is the penultimate group, Hwang Yo-min and company, and goodness me, she stamped that one onto the back edge of the green. Oh, she's carried that almost 240 meters. I know we're on an elevated tee, but still, that's a good poke out there. We'll have a look for that leaderboard, how congested it is. Jae-hee leads at 11, 4 players at 10, 3 players at 9. Still anyone's championship. Chen Yi-sung. Just turned 23 years of age earlier this week. A little quick at the transition. You might have found that massive greenside bunker. Hyun Se Lin. Still yet to win on the KLPGA Tour. Came 9th here last track round. One of 3 top 10s she had back in 2023. Scuttle onto the green, but it's going to miss that hump, and she's going to be where Oh Soo Min was putting from. And you know that's not a guaranteed 2-putt birdie, which is on the dance floor in 1 at the reachable 9th today. So out to the 10th tee we go in a hole that played as the third hardest hole for yesterday's second round. You can see why there's a long lake that stretches up the left-hand side of this hole. Got a smaller penalty area right of the fairway here, so it's a really claustrophobic tee shot. You can see from the flags, the putting green behind Patty Tavatanik, it's playing slightly into the breeze. Quick reach for the tee, usually a sign of a well-struck tee shot, and ideal for Tavatanik. She starts her back nine, trailing Kim Jae-hee by a shot. She's currently 39th in the World Amateur Golf Rankings, the 15-year-old from South Korea. Won the Songam Cup last year in her homeland, one of the most prestigious amateur titles in South Korea. Came runner-up at the Maekyeong Cup as well. He knows what it's like to compete on the KLPGA Tour. Top 10 finish at the Kyeocheon Hana Ladies Open last season. As I mentioned, the only player in this field who is bogey-free, still bogey-free I should say. Up to the par 3 14th, and Jung Yoon-ji. One of the greens that was reshaped earlier this year. Sorry, late last year I should say. Another superb tee shot from Yoon-ji. That whole location would not have been possible 12 months ago. He did some fantastic work to create more hole location on that par 3. Now, Park Yoon-kyung, first look of the day at the now 5-time KLPGA Tour winner. Second shot into the 11th, just coming out of that left rough. It was pretty much in the middle of this green today. Clever shot there, using the contours to feed that on down close, and with the touch she possesses with the putter in hand, I figure that's going to be almost a guaranteed birdie for Park Hyun-kyung. It's getting congested at the top of the leaderboard. Still the name of Kim Jae-hee sits pretty atop of it. One shot clear over a quartet of chasers, including Patty Tavatanik. That's not the longest or tallest mini leaderboard that you'll see all year in the KLPGA Tour is. I don't know what is. Now, tough shot here for Hwang Yo-min. Severe downhill lie. Coming out of the rough. Pitching into an upslope, but then it works away from her once it gets over that brow. Head on the side of caution there. That came out too hot. She could have easily trundled that into the greenside bunker on the other side of the green. Just a little unlucky with that tee shot. Carried it too far. Now, Patty T's got 3 wood out here. I believe that's a 5 wood. Gonna get as close to that green as possible in 2. Again, don't want to turn it over left. Could meet a watery grave. Start this inside those right bunkers. Try and turn a little draw off them. She has been in supreme control of her golf swing and her golf game over the last 4 weeks. It's been a pleasure to watch Patty back to her best form. Now, Chung Yun-ji for another birdie to get to 5 under par for this 3rd round. Should move a little from her left. Well done, Jung Yoon-ji. Back-to-back birdies, and she gets into a share of 2nd place. 5 players now at 10 under par. Certainly lining up behind Kim Jae-hee. Now, Soo Min also with the 3 wood. Looked like it started a little further left than she was aiming, but the teenager doesn't seem too bothered. Why would she be? World at her feet, really. 15 years old to be that good and that confident on a golf course. That takes something special. This young lady was ranked 3rd in the World Amateur Golf ranking at one point in her young career. 5th when she turned pro. Hwang Yo-min to make it 6 players on 10 under. No, not this time. You think about it, she's made 11 birdies in her last 27 holes of play. One of those players that really wishing she could have taken that first round 73 back. Tavatanik it. The right edge of the fairway. To this pin on 10 today that is 25 paces on. How these greens have dried out nicely over the course of this 3rd round, I figure that you just have to allow for a little bit of release. They were playing pretty much target golf on Thursday and Friday with the soggy nature of the golf course. She'll factor that into her calculations as we drop back to the 9th hole. Hyun Se Lin drove the green with her tee shot. Eagle putt to here. So this is now for birdie for Se Lin. I suspect this should want to move a little from left to right, maybe just outside left edge. More than that. Like the amateur in the group ahead. Walks off with a 3-putt par. It's a good pin this on 9, particularly with it playing as a drivable par 4. Now back to Patty T. Coming out of that first cut of rough. Not going to get quite as much spin on this. Just has to land it a little bit shorter. Allow it to release and chase on. Oof. Tug that a fraction, but she's okay. Club just getting tangled up in that sticky rough a little, shutting that club face down. No harm done for the tie. Probably one of the hardest par 5s that these ladies will play all year on tour. Left edge of the fairway for Lee Soo-jin 3. And a good smart shot. It's going to catch the slope. It'll try. Yeah, not going to be complaining about that. That's a fine shot. A player who's not been in this position too often on the KLPGA Tour. Oh Soo-min has birdied this hole in each of the first 2 days, despite it playing as one of the 3 hardest holes on the golf course. So clearly fancies her chances round here. She'll look to attack coming out of the fairway. Slight downhill lie, but really shouldn't be too much of a problem. How aggressive is the 15-year-old going to be here? Holding that club face open through the shot. Needed another 3 yards to get on the other side of that ridge and catch the slope, but it's not bad. So green is clear at 9. Final 3 ball, ready to take to the tee. Finished 7th in the SK Telecom Championship, the final event of last year to secure that 60th and final card for 2024. Driver here for Park. This one could be good if it just wanders a little left. That's all right. Again, she'll have that big hump to negotiate, but just through the back of the green. Shinsu, surely this is just going to be a 3-wood, maybe even a hybrid club for her. So I was playing 250 yards. It's a drive of about 260, so the big stick definitely not the play here, particularly downwind. It's a 3-wood, just trying to hoist that as high in the air as possible. Get it to come down soft. She too just going to trundle through the back of the green. Again, not a bad leave. Kim Jae-hee off her best season ever on the KLPGA Tour. Missed half of her cuts through the first 10 events of the season, only missed 1 cut in her last 14 of the season. Top 2 runner-up finishers in there as well. Spun out of that a little, think it's leaking right. All 3 players in this final group through the back of the green at 9. Kim Jae-hee, a championship leader by 1 with the most real estate to cover for her pitch shot. Go across to Hwang Yo-min, getting her back 9 underway. The ball from right to left, so should just want to start this at the right edge of the fairway. Turn that little draw, get it to chase. Okay, well done. Up end of the green, Tavatanakit. First part of this putt's going to want to shoot right on Patty. It's coming off that fringe. Should level up and straighten out as it gets to the cup. Really shot right on her at the start. Maybe took a bit of a wobble as well. Just knocking off some pace. Once again on 10, Patty T will have to settle for par. With the scoring average of the field on this hole through the first 2 days, you're picking up about a tenth of a shot on the field, that is. Even though this is only about 20 feet away, there's going to be some right to left break in this for Oh Soo-min. You can see that sort of tail end of the hump that sits in the middle of this green, just about 6 feet in front of her. So she'll send it over that. It really should start to turn left quite aggressively once it gets over that brow. Never got that started high enough. So not to be a third birdie of the week at the par 5 for O. She should stay at 10 under. I think just try to pitch this at the very edge of that top plateau. Maybe get it to check a touch and then just release down the slope with dying breath. She's got this well back into stance. Looks like she's trying to play a bit of a bump and run. And for that first option, we'll just carry that way too far. Tried to pitch that in the bottom of that little bull. Curious shot selection from your tournament leader. I just don't think that was the right play there for Kim Jae-hee. To the hard charging Jung Yoon-ji, second shot into the 15th. Demanding hole, this one. Second shot plays to a elevated plateau type green. Pins 18 from the front and 6 from the right today at the top of just a little slope. She has been dialed in with her distance control today. That is excellent from Jung Yoon-ji, and just being past the pin, that's going to leave her an uphill, relatively flat putt. She's looking to hang a number in the clubhouse, get in before the leaders. Now, Shin-sil, a little closer on than Jae-hee. That's the shot, I think. It's the right one to play. Just a little chaser. Not bad. No guaranteed 3 just yet for Bang Shin-sil. Golf at the age of 7, introduced to this great game by her father. As he had a lot to be proud of with the career that his daughter has had. Park Do-won going to go with the putter from here. I don't hate this play. We say when in doubt, putt it, because a bad putt's always going to be better than a bad chip. Do have some sticky paspalum fringes around these greens, which can affect the ball if they're not hit with conviction, but again, with right around 50-60 feet here, hitting it hard enough where your ball should stay pretty straight through that. Just a little firm, but at least the comeback is going to be working back uphill for Park. Got the 3-wood for her layup into this 10th again. Just want to keep this down the right half of the fairway. Don't bring that trouble left into play. Too far right, perhaps, for Huang. Players would have gotten a little shuttle ride from the 10th green across the canal to the 11th tee, where we now find Patty Tavatanakit. Fairway bunker down the right that has to be avoided. The fairway does tilt from left to right, so she can keep this down the left, and it should kick back to the middle. that far left though, but again, pretty forgiving spot to miss this fairway at 11. Really impressed by not only the composure of Oh Soo Min this week, but also that golf swing. First time I've had the opportunity to watch a little bit of her play, and she is mighty impressive. Look at how technically sound this is. Great angles, big wide shoulder turn, really aggressive lower body move. Clears that hip so beautifully. Arms and upper body just snap through like a trebuchet. Creates a lot of power for a player that really can't weigh more than 150 pounds soaking wet. These can get awkward for Kim Jae-hee. Just into that first cut of rough. It's only a short shot, but it requires good acceleration. Yeah, decent effort there for Kim. He told her that she was still going to be leading after 9 holes today. Pretty sure she would have taken that quite handily, particularly after that double at 3. So 1 under par front 9 keeps Jae-hee out in front. Could she have company in a couple of moments' time? Park Do-eun. This for a birdie 3. Be an up and down birdie from the back of the green. Would move her into a share of the lead. So Caddy just indicating maybe outside left. This putt very pace dependent. Could even start this left edge with good aggressive speed. You try and just die it in. Obviously have to look maybe a ball left. It is coming uphill, so she can be positive with it. Well, started that one straight. Grain and slope. Just push that right straight away. Never had a chance. Jae-hee stays 1 clear of Do-eun. Function still with a putt to come. There's also a putt to come for Jung Yoon-ji at 15 to join the lead. Slightly uphill, minimal break in this. She'll fancy her chances. Just got to keep her speed up. Oh, that is cruel. Not sure how that ball's finished behind the hole, but that is going to be a par 4 for Jung Yoon-ji. You can scarcely believe that missed herself. Now Shin-sil, just got to be wary of the speed here. Putting pretty much straight downhill. A great birdie for Bang, who joins Kim Jae-hee at the top of the leaderboard through 9 holes on Saturday afternoon. Hyun Se-lin set to play her 3rd into 10. Little slope about 6 feet right of this pin, which players can use to funnel it down. Something just like that. Excellent shot there from Se-lin. Chun Yi-sung, far right edge of the fairway, so the ball's going to be slightly above her feet. And just on this angle, if she pitches it where Se-lin landed hers, that first bounce is going to be a little bit hotter. So might have to pitch this on the flat upper plateau and then just have it trickle over and onto that downslope. Unlucky, just pitched into the face of that slope. Took all the sting out of it. I've seen that putt before. It's going to have some break from right to left. Hong Yo-min thankfully did avoid that fairway bunker, but it looks like a fairly heavy lie for her. Just trying to gouge that out and play this shot with a bit of run. That stopped quickly. A little unlucky there for Yo-min. So we've hit the back nine on Saturday afternoon. Once again, we have been very fortunate with the weather today. There are some thundery showers forecasted to move in, sort of in the late afternoon. Fingers crossed we're done before that. So Bang Chun-sil now shares the lead. It started a little right. That's going to be okay. Just short of that penalty area right at this fairway. Had the lead after a blemish-free round of 65 to open her campaign on Thursday. Doan have a career best finish on the KLPGA Tour last year at the KB Financial Group Star Championship in Incheon. Top 5 there. She's got company at the top of the leaderboard now, Kim Jae-hee. This Japanese course redesigned by Phil Jacobs a couple years ago. A few improvements made to the golf course in the last 12 months. A couple of greens reshaped, a couple of bunkers moved. No big changes to this par 5 10th though. It's still just a really demanding hole. Is all that remains for Hyun-se Lin to get herself up to 8 under par. So to make sure you're not trotting on any of your playing partner's lines. Probably going to pick that tee up as well, Se Lin. Pick the ball out of the middle of the cup. She gets within 3. Now Patty out of the left rough. Sitting down just a smidge, so it might come out a little slow. Not much spin. Can sort of pitch this just left of the pin and use that slope to funnel it in close. It just came out a little slow on Patty. She's safely on the dance floor. Oh Soo Min has the luxury of pretty much going straight at this flagstick. So left half of the fairway. Excellent angle to this right flag. So big swinging putt now for Hwang Yo-min back at the 10th, but it is for birdie. And she's underread that as well. It just takes a lot of trust to send it as high up as you need to on some of these big breaking putts. But a par will do no damage to the scorecard. third straight day, and understandably so, playing preferred lies this week. That's why Kim Jae-hee has ball in hand, back on the fairway. Up at the green, Jung Yi-sung has learned nothing from the putt of Hwang Yo-min, almost a carbon copy. That one falls off low. So a birdie and a pair of pars for the threesome in the penultimate group. Just want to start this at the pair of fairway bunkers right of the fairway. You can see him there. Inside edge of that big tall rain tree would be a good line. Really hear that breeze starting to pick up now. Gonna make this back nine interesting. Okay. Just tug that a touch, but we'll stay on the left half of the fairway. Up at 11, Tavatanakit. Pretty slow putt from the front edge of this enormous putting surface. This ball will want to slide to the right just as it gets to the cup. Dalton. Playing in breezy conditions, you really don't want to be ballooning balls up in the air or putting too much side spin on them, because playing into the wind, that's always going to exacerbate and exaggerate the amount of side spin you put on the ball. You get this one turning over, it's going to be wet, so really got to keep that club face square through impact. Yeah, good shot there. To make it a three-way tie at 11 under par. Oh Soo Min at 11 for birdie. As she hit it, no, just leaked that a touch right. Bang Shin-sil. Tee shot found the cart part, so has taken a free relief. Second shot now, and she's got the 3-wood. Really, it was a bizarre sequence of events as we came off the air yesterday evening. This players were pretty much engulfed in darkness, yet Bang Shin-sil and company tried to finish up the 10th hole. Shin-sil eventually making a bogey 6. That's a brave shot off a hanging lie. She's done very well. Jung Yoon-ji at the signature hole at the Tampines course, the Island Green par 3 16th. Downhill birdie opportunity for Jung. Oh, she has hit some good putts today. She's shaved a lot of edges as well. Another great try that doesn't quite drop. There's 2 holes left to play in what's been a very productive day for Jung Yoon-ji. 5 under the card. Up into a share of 3rd. As the sun is out and the breeze starts to pick up here on day 3 at the Hana Financial Group Singapore Women's Open. Shin-sil and Kim Jae-hee leading the way at 11 under par. Good shot into 10 now for your championship co-leader, Kim Jae-hee. Just want to keep it fractionally to the left of that TV tower, but that started a little too far left. Okay, it's just going to hang up for Kim. Turns 23 years old tomorrow. This would be some present. Through KLPGA Tour title. Now Park Do-eun. Split the difference between the flag and that TV tower. That should be the ideal start line for Park. Leaks that one out right. That is going to be desperately quick putting back down towards the left-hand side of this green. Shinsil not wasting any time here. Nice angle in, right half of the fairway. Takes it straight over the top of the stick. Excellent shot there. Two wins last year coming at the E1 Charity Ladies Open at Seoul-hae 1 and the Koreat Championship by Dongbu Construction. The only modified stable-footed event on the KLPGA Tour. You see that whole location? The very left-hand side of this 12th green for Paddy Tavatanakit. It's an enormous putting surface here at the 12th. Second shot plays about 3 yards downhill. And that is arguably the easiest hole location you can find on this green. Sitting in that little collection area on the front left. Got a slope to the right, you've got a slope long, which you can throw your ball into and it will come back down towards the hole. Especially with preferred lies, ball in hand and off a nice flat lie like this for Tavatanakit. You certainly expect her to be dancing this one around the pin. So just a little past the flag and a little right of it gives her the best chance to properly use the contours of this green to funnel it down close. Oh, that's a mistake. Tugs that left. It's a makeable chip, but that's a pretty wide miss from Paddy T with what you'd have to say was only a short iron, maybe an 8 iron. We saw this from Tavatanakit in the group ahead. That fringe, that shoulder really kicks the ball hard right in the first 6 feet. Got to play this with pace. Oh, well, that happens. Just never had a prayer, really. Park. Keep her level with Shinsil for now. Bang still with a birdie look to come at the par 5. Jung Yun-ji at the par 4 17th. Get some pretty uneven lines in the fairways here at the Tampines course. This one, ball slightly above her feet and off an uphill lie, so it's really going to shoot up high into this strengthening draft. Is it going to stay on the top level? Just about for Jung Yun-ji. Pretty flat for the first 2/3 of this putt, and then gets rapid once it gets over the crest and starts working its way down to the hole. Ooh, that needs to settle. That needs to settle. Sometimes you pay the price for being a little too conservative around this Tampines course. Up and over a gentle slope here for Jun Sung. Moving from left to right for birdie. Had the line, just didn't quite have the pace there for Jun. So, for the outright lead for Bang Shin Sil. Just loses that one low. Still, we remain deadlocked at 11 under par between Bang and Kim. Jong, Tavatanakit and O. For the moment, Park Do-eun lurking just one back now. Slightly left off the tee, should be far enough back she can get up and over this tree for Oh Soo-min. This one could come back. It could come back. Still, all things considered, excellent shot. The teenager. Yo Min, just a hole behind. From the very top of that spine. So this will be downhill, moving from left to right, but last couple of feet it does flatten out. See if she's learned anything from her playing partner's putt. Bad effort there for Yo Min. She's lurking. We know she's got low rounds in her. 63 yesterday. Low round of the week by 2 shots. Previous best, the 65 for Bang Shin Sil on Thursday. So par putt now to keep Park Do-eun. That share of 3rd place. Not to be this time for Park. So 3-putt bogey 6 to start her back 9. This is the 17th green. Jong Yun-ji and company sizing up their birdie putts. Jong Yun-ji playing alongside Lee Ga-young and So Yun-jung. So Yun-jung also going along well today, 4 under the card. And he's got that one tracking nicely. Really good lag putt from long range for So Yun-jung. A couple of early bogeys at 3 and 5, but she's sprinkled in plenty of birdies. 6 already today. She's certainly keeping herself in the conversation at 9 under par with just the par 5 18th to come. Now Tavatanakit can pretty much land this on the green. This one should check pretty quickly. Yeah, Well played shot, but that just releases on into sort of knee knocker territory. Shinsil back on the tee, 254 yards to carry the right bunker. Don't need to take it straight over that. Ample room left. So for a share of the lead, Oh Soo Min, one of 4 amateurs to make the halfway cut at this championship. And she's got another birdie. The 15-year-old amateur joins Bang Shin-sil and Kim Jae-hee atop the leaderboard. 10 KLPGA Tour titles have been won by amateurs, the last of which coming in 2017 by now LPGA Tour star Choi Ho-jin. So 3 at the top, a 15-year-old, a 22-year-old and a 20-year-old. That's going to be left for Kim Jae-hee. She'll get a little extra distance off the cart path. And again, the left-hand side of this 11th hole, really not too penal. So it is the better side of the hole to miss on if you are going to miss this fairway. ENG. It's got a downhill slope to negotiate about halfway between her ball and the hole. As it gets to the top of that plateau, it should start moving right, picking up speed. Great touch there. Really good speed from Jung. Very solid year last season, Jung Min-ji. Years of age. Finished 16th on the money list back in 2023. Okay, well done. Certainly in position to better her 5th place finish last time out at the Singapore Women's Open. 2 shots behind eventual winner Park Ji-young. Tavatanikit for par back at the 12th. Can't afford to be giving up shots here. Okay, well done. Good up and down for Patty T. Keeps her 1 adrift. Three-way tie as we hit the back 9 Saturday afternoon at the 2nd Hana Financial Group Singapore Women's Open. Oh Soo Min looking to become the first amateur winner on the KLPGA Tour since 2017. Bang Shin-sil seeking a 3rd tour title, and Kim Jae-hee looking to leave herself in pole position. On the last day, she can call herself a 22-year-old. So many storylines percolating and developing at the Tampines course this Saturday afternoon in thankfully sunny Singapore. Second shot from the top of the hill here at 11 for Park Do-eun. Just start this right at the TV tower. Working off that slope. Ooh, looked like she got stuck on her back foot there, her trail leg. Didn't quite get the transition of weight that she needed through the shot. Still not too bad. Coming in with a mid-iron. Not too disappointed with a shot like that. Or a result like that, I should say. Now, can't actually see the top of the flagstick from where she is. Kim Jae-hee. Got relief off the cart path. The angle's okay for her to this right flag. There's not too much rough left of 11. So doesn't have to worry about a flyer lie or a slow lie. Can just play a standard yardage here. Try to carry this maybe half of the way between the front edge and the pin. Pitch really soft. So kicked into that upslope. Still not bad. Mighty big thrash from Bang Shin-sil. Just a little unlucky, that ball sticking in the first cut of rough, and it's nestled down ever so slightly, so just got to be aware of this one coming out a bit hot. Protected against the flyer, maybe a little bit too much. 3 outside opportunities await. Final threesome. Second playing of this Hana Financial Group Singapore Women's Open. One Singaporean did make the halfway cut. Chen Xing-tong. Delightful round of golf yesterday. Unfortunately, Xing-tong struggling today, as is Yeomin here at 12. 1 foot in that sort of annoying pot bunker about 120 yards from the green. So tough to judge how that ball's going to come out. Not quite sure where that's ended up. Some people call that bunker annoying. I'd just like to say it's well placed. Really right in the landing zone for most of the players this week. So Shin-sil will be first to go at 11. Seen a lot of players leave it short from this side of the green. Shin-sil, really good putt. Great attempt. Sing-tong Chen, I was mentioning a little bit earlier on, 66 yesterday for the 15-year-old Singaporean. Unfortunately following up with a 77 today to leave her back at 1 over for the tournament. Now, Tavatanagit at the par for 13th. Pin today, cut in the back section of the green, so coming out of the rough shouldn't be too much of a bother for Patty. At least a club short there for Tavatanagit. She pitched that maybe 5-6 yards on. It catches that downslope and trundles on to the back pin. Now out of the right rough for Oh Soo-min. Staring right down the throat of this green. Can get aggressive. Sounded like that might have come off the club face a little high. But she can do no wrong right now, this teenager. It's another stellar approach shot. She's got that for a 12th birdie of the week. That would move her into the solo lead. What a week in Singapore it's turning out to be for Oh Soo-min. An opportunity to get to 12 under first is Kim Jae-hee back on 11. Seen that a few times today. Good line, just lacking for pace. So this is the green at the par 4 12th. And the group of Hong Yo-min, Hyun Se-lin and Chun Yi-sung. Looks like Chun Yi-sung is on the dance floor, but not exactly where the band is playing. Again, this green is enormous. 48 paces from front edge to back edge. Split up into what you call 4 different sections. Unfortunately, Chun Yi-sung not in the correct section. So we're putting over a spine, a split in this green. That ball's going to be traveling uphill for the first 15 feet, then will start to turn downhill as it funnels its way to this left pin position. From this range, with this much slope to negotiate, just looking to work this one into about a 3-foot circle. That would be a good result. Just about there for Chun Yi-sung. Isn't too much going her way today. She's won over the card despite a pair of birdies in the front 9. Now Park Do-eun with this left to righter. Just a little right all the way for Park. Still should be a cast iron 4. It's a putt that can get away from Patty if she's not careful. Big slope to negotiate. And she works this birdie attempt down the hill towards the pin on 13. Asking for that to go. It's going to try. Okay, not bad at all. Seventh in the Rolex Women's World Rankings as the 24-year-old girl from Bangkok. Went to college at UCLA in the States. Now Shinsil back on the tee here at 12. Got that little round bunker that Hwang Yo-min found earlier on, which must be avoided, so keep this down the right half of the fairway if you can, Bang. But she's swinging the club very nicely indeed. And it's going to skirt the left-hand side of that bunker and keep on rolling. It's an enormous tee shot from Bang Shin-sil. She's just about 80 yards from the pin. But this now for Oh Soo-min to hit the summit of the leaderboard all by herself. She had the solo lead briefly on the front 9. She's got it on the back 9. A 4th unanswered birdie of the day, a 12th of the week, and a 15-year-old South Korean amateur leads the second Hana Financial Group Singapore Women's Open. I think that bunker's in range for Kim Jae-hee, so she can pretty much wail away at this tee shot with reckless abandon. Pitch is on the downslope. Should feed on, just sit short of that bunker. Okay, perfect. It's just picking up a little bit for Park Do-won. Again, a sort of blind tee shot, really. You come up and over this dip in the fairway. Just picking out a tree or a lineman's post in the distance, sending it down there. But it's a generous fairway. Everything does collect down towards that little fairway bunker. 3 excellent tee shots for your final group at the 12th. So, championship leader Oh Soo-min has reached the par 3 14th. Just has to be wary of that bunker short of the green. Anything long of this pin's fine. A solid tee shot there. Good smart play. Good look at what faces the players here when you play your approach into 12. If you've never played the Tampines course before, you could be fooled into thinking that that is a diabolical hole location. It looks like there's no green between the edge of that bunker and the flag, but there's plenty of options of how you want to use the slopes around this left pin to get that ball close. Kim Jae-hee's got a very experienced man on the bag for her. Really talking through a lot of her shots with her caddy, Kim Dong-yong, who's formerly caddied for current Korean #1, Lee Won, and former 2-time major champion on the Korean Tour, Park Hyun-kyung. He's got himself a good bag these days with Kim Jae-hee. They have been a great team. See if they've done their numbers right here. Oh, you bet they have. Excellent shot there for Kim Jae-hee, who's just kind of been stuck in neutral, not doing anything wrong, but hasn't had a great deal going right for her since she reeled off those 3 straight birdies on the front 9. Now to Patty T, who's now trailing her playing partner by 2. She's got the height to be able to try and attack this front pin. Oh, brilliant. Takes a brave shot to try and pitch it there. Giving herself a look. So, follow that one in, Park Do-yun. Go up that slope, it'll come back. 2 pretty good shots into 12 already. Bangshin Sills still to come. Now at the home hole, Jung Yin-ji looking to put the shine on what has been a very fruitful outing at the Tampines course this Saturday. She just short of the green there at 18. It's a pretty severely pitched slope. I hope that hasn't rolled a good 20 yards back off the front. You can see the severity of that false front from this angle. Now Soyeon Jung. That's better. Just a little long. Gives herself an outside look from about 20 feet. Now Bangshin Sil, just a tiny flick of a lob wedge left into the 12th. Really needs to get this one close. Okay, not her best effort, but still a decent look for birdie. So the 15-year-old Oh Soo-min leads the way by 1 over Bang Shin-sil and Kim Jae-hee. Jung Yoon-ji putting together a great round. She's 5 under on the day and level in 4th with Patty Tavatanakit here on day 2 at the Singapore Women's Open. She would have expected this to be a little bit closer than it is, but nonetheless a birdie look for Bang Shin-sil at 12. Oh, just grazes the right edge of the cup. Just joining us, what a leaderboard we have at the Singapore Women's Open. The amateur Oh Soo-min leads Shin-sil and Jae-hee just a shot behind. Jae-hee with the chance to join Oh at the top of the leaderboard. Jung Yoon-ji on her final hole. And Patty Tavatanakit with that 10 under par. Shot further back is Hwang Yo-min. Good tee shot at 13. Really got to be brave and try and throw it all the way back to this left flag. Especially coming out of the fairway. Got to take these chances when they're presented to you. Yeah, well done. Good shot there from Yo-min. Hasn't dropped a shot today, but she's only got the one birdie coming back at the par 5 8th. Park Do-eun to climb into a share of 4th. Downhill, we'll move from left to right. Okay, and that moves her to 10 under par. Well done, Park Do-eun. Bounces back nicely after that bogey. to start her back nine. Short of the green. Is she in the bunker at the 18th? Barely see the top of her cap for Jung Yun-ji. I think she is in that bunker. Only 5 paces of green to work with. That's not bad. About 8 feet. So we're going around a 67 on moving day. So, to go back into a share of the lead with Oh Soo Min. Oh, just carried a little too much speed there for Kim Jae-hee. It's a great try. Not this time. Now to your leader, looking to extend her advantage. This is a birdie look for Oh Soo Min at 14. A bit of a misread there, but good pace means she should walk off with a par 3. So Yin-jung at the last downhill, sliding from left to right to go into the weekend, or the Sunday I should say, at 10 under. And my word, that was a poorly read putt. Goodness me. She's missed that a good 3 feet left. These greens at Tanamera Country Club can make you look a little foolish at times. Tavatanikit. Good tee shot here. Pin high. Now for birdie. Not to be. Tee shot at the 13th now. Needless to say, you don't want to start your ball too far right. Lots of room left here. So start this between those 2 bunkers in the distance for Park Do-eun. So for a 67, Jung Yun-ji, a par putt at the 18th. Oh, well done. Hard work in the end, but at the end of the day, I think she can be very proud of her efforts this Saturday. Yun-ji will go into the final round at 10 under par. How far back is that going to be once all is said and done? As we go back to Bang Shin-sil at 13. And with her length, she's got less. She's got a slightly more narrow area of the fairway to hit into. She's got to look right of that last fairway bunker. Taking over a chunk of the penalty area. Oh, that is miles up there from the 20-year-old who really does play some fearless golf. Don't imagine it's going to be the same line off the tee for Kim Jae-hee. She'll look out to the left here at the 13th. Soyeon Jung after that rather wayward birdie putt. Thankfully, tidies up well for a par. That's a good day at the office for Soyeon Jung as well. 68 for her, 9 under par total through 54 holes at the Singapore Women's Open. So, good driving hole this, the 15th. Trouble down the left, fairway bunker on the right. Fairway tilts from right to left. She is swinging very freely. Here's Oh Soo-min. She is driving the ball brilliantly. Tavatanakit has the option to be able to take it over the right half of that fairway bunker. The bunker itself isn't going to be an issue. It's only 199 yards to carry it. So from the ball of Oh Soo-min, the general tilt of this fairway is from right to left. So she's got to land this almost in the right rough and have it camber and kick back onto the short stuff. Oof. Sounded like that hit the base of a tree, but gets a friendly kick and will end up in perfectly all right position for Patty. Hwang Yo-min after that brave approach into the 13th. Can she take advantage? This now for birdie. Yes, ma'am. Waited a while for it, but that's a second birdie of the day, and it's one that takes Hwang Yo-min into the group at 10 under par within 2 shots of your championship leader. Let's see what Park Do-won has to deal with here. Pin today on the 13th hole is 30 paces in the front edge. You can carry this sort of 20 paces on and just have it feed down off that downslope. Again, it's another hole that's cut in a little bit of a bull today, so accessible if you've got a good number. Missed that downslope completely. At least a club short there for Park. Up to 14 in Hwang Yo-min. The only place you don't want to be to today's hole location is in that front bunker. Just a little too safe there, but no problems for Hwang Yo-min. Kim Jae-hee. Breeze looks like it's coming straight off the left as the players come into the 13th. She get the number right and throw it all the way to this back flag. She was in between clubs there, just tried to take something off the longer one. But going long here, I suppose leaves you a slightly easier up and down than coming up shortly. She's pitching back up the hill. Shinsil. Again, just a little sort of feeling wedge left in for Bang. You're coming in with a sort of half shot. Really hard to have enough zip and speed at the bottom of your swing to try and get more spin on it. As a result, that just unable to grab and releasing on. Now, Patty Tavatanakit after that fortuitous break off the tree root. Second into 15, balls above her feet. playing to this elevated green. Unlucky, took a big first kick. But again, not the worst spot to miss there, long on the 15th. That was an enormous drive from Oh Soo Min. Being in the left half of this fairway, just opens up the angle a little bit to this back flag. Just got to make sure you carry it onto that top step. If your 6 paces short, it's going to feed back down towards the front of the green. And the mood that she's in, I won't be surprised if this is straight at it. Oh, straight at it. It's hit the flag. Everything's going the way of Oh Soo Min today. She is on some heater, and this is some performance that the amateur is putting together. Look at this again. I did say she's an aggressive player. She's clearly feeling it. Watch this. Bang off the flagstick. Probably a little lucky as well. It didn't sound like that ball was trying to grab. Would have released maybe another 10, 15 feet on. Talk about a player who's been on a bit of a hot streak today. Top 40 amateur in the world is Oh Soo Min. Second hole has given some players problems this week, but not this teenager. Big drive, excellent approach, straight over the top of the stick. That was to be her first birdie of the day. A couple of pars since, including one at the par 5 fifth. Great tee shot into the 6th. Ticklish downhill slider, converted with relative ease for Soo Min. Didn't birdie 8 or the par 4 9th, despite having driven the green with her tee shot. Had some tree trouble here, but was far enough back she could hoist a pitching wedge up and over that tree. And really manufactured a brilliant shot to set up her 3rd birdie of the day. And that would move her, at that point, into a 3-way tie for the lead. And then at the very next hole, downhill slider that never looked like missing. She moved to the top of the leaderboard all by herself for the 2nd time today, and she'll have an opportunity to extend that lead in just a couple of moments' time, sizing up about an 8-foot birdie putt to come at the 15th. Meanwhile, back on 13, the lady who held a 1-shot lead coming into the weekend, Kim Jae-hee, with a relatively straightforward little chip shot here. Slight uphill lie, pitching uphill as well. Can be aggressive with this, can think about holding this. Gave it a great effort. Good try. From the back of 14 green, putting up a little tier, Hwang Yo-min. This one will move from right to left in the last 10 feet. Her lag putting, her pace putting has been really spot on over the last 2 days here at the Tampines course. Just missed that downslope, hit Park Do-eun. As a result, this is going to be a gradual downhiller for her all the way to the pin. Very well judged for pace. That'll be a good 2-putt par. It keeps Park Do-won share of 4th. Player that feels like she's on a bit of a free roll this season, having secured the 60th and final card of the season last year with a top 10 finish at the SK Telecom Championship. Now, Patty Tavatanakit. Pretty basic little chip shot here. Oh, just checked a little on her with that second bounce. It's not bad. Really got a good pair of hands on her, Patty T. Much has been made about her prodigious length and formidable ball striking, but you don't get to where she's gotten in the world of golf without a tidy short game. Well, she's 2 shots back for now, maybe 3 at the end of this hole for Oh Soo-min, but Patty Tavatanakit is certainly well and truly in the picture here in Singapore. Now Shin-sil. Going to be a slow putt here for Bang, working from left to right. It's got a chance. It's got a chance, and Bang Shin-sil returns parity to the top of the leaderboard once again. Great birdie there for Bang. Moves alongside Oh Soo-min. Kim Jae-hee, it's just going to be a patience game here. She's still very much in the mix. Just has to remain patient. Can't let it feel like it's slipping away from her. She's playing good, solid golf. 1 under the card today and a string of pars. And a run of pars that continues for Kim Jae-hee. But now Soo-min to get her nose out in front again. She just can't miss today, can she? Shin-sil gets the 12. Soo-min has the answer. Another birdie for Oh. She creeps up to 13 under par. What a battle we've got shaping up in front of us heading into Sunday. 2 of the great talents out of South Korea duking it out for this season opening title. Shin-sil just a little long into 14. She's in Hwang Yo-min country there. So hard to get close to a front hole location, particularly when it's downwind. Just looking at that, 12 players, 11 players I should say, within 5 shots of Oh Soo-min's lead. About 6 of them within 3, including Park Do-won. A brave player to try to hit a shot like that, and she's pulled it off. Not going to see many better tee shots than that into 14 today for Park Do-won. Sometimes it's easy to get sucked into feeling like you must better that, especially when you've seen such a wonderful shot. But for Kim Jae-hee, she would know sensible players just look out a little bit long. Err on the side of caution. I'm sure her caddy, Kim Dong-yong, would have reminded her of that just as she's pulled the club. heart-in-mouth moments and has that roll back into the bunker for Kim. It's the one mistake she really couldn't afford to make, and I think she realizes it. Maybe not quite the contact she was after there. But it's a tantalizing prospect as we head into the closing stages of Saturday and into what should be an absolutely thrilling final round here in Singapore. Oh, Bang and Kim, one shot separate the three of them at the top of the leaderboard. But they're all chasing Oh, who's reached the 16th tee. It's only playing 112 meters today, but it's a tantalizingly dangerous front flag, this island green. Don't want to get this one ballooning up in the draft. Oof. Don't look pleased with it. That's why. Just a little long. Sometimes that can happen. Playing into the gust, you just try and shut that club face down. You end up de-lofting it. It just travels 5-10 yards further. Work cut out for a two-putt remaining for Oh Soo-min. Paddy's got a game that travels quite well around the world. That's what it's like to play in breezy conditions, but there's a glaring discrepancy there. Played the par 3s this week and won over par. Just trying to chip a little 9-iron into this front flag. Oh, superb distance control. Real classy shot from a classy player. Good news for Kim Jae-hee, that ball is stayed out of the bunker. And it's rolled back into the second cut of rough, so it's a tufty looking lie. Much better than being up against the collar of rough. But still, got to play this with pretty soft grip pressure. Just want that club head to just drop on the back of the ball. Land this on the fringe, let the slope do the rest of the work. Easy to overhit that, just making sure that she didn't leave that stubborn into the fringe. Now there's work cut out for par, and that's why you don't want to be short of 14. It'd be a costly mistake for Kim Jae-hee. Jong Yoon-ji already done and dusted for day 3 in the clubhouse at 10 under par. At the moment, that's good enough to get her into the penultimate group on Sunday. Bang Shin-sil. It's a birdie putt, but she'd be pretty content to walk off with a 2-putt par here. Oh, she sent that out very high, and he needs to sit down. Touch clumsy there from Bang. So no jangling comeback are required for her to stay one shot back. Jae-hee just on this angle doesn't have quite as much right to left as the putts of Hwang Yo-min and Bang Shin-sil, but still needs to look out right of the cup here. Coming uphill, it's going to be slow, so has to make sure she maintains good acceleration through this stroke. Oh, that was low. Low all the way. And that's a very clumsy bogey for your 36-hole leader. Got to break this into 2 separate putts, you feel, for Oh Soo-min. first sort of 20 feet of this putt going to be fairly flat, maybe just downhill. Then once she gets over that dark green section, that's a bit of a hump. That's a prominent feature in the middle portion of this green. Once she gets over that hump, it'll really start to gather pace as it makes its way down to the front hole location. Great Bobby Jones used to say, speed is 4 times more important than line. It's never been more true than over a putt like this. First real test of nerve for Oh Soo Min this third round. It's not bad, but that's not exactly stone dead. It's going to be an uncomfortable one left for the championship leader to stay at 13 under. First, a test for her closest pursuer to remain at 12. She's had a couple of sloppy bogeys already this week, Bang Shin-sil. Think about the bogey at 4 yesterday. She dropped a shot at 7 as well from out of nowhere, and that, her first bogey of this third round, is going to drop her back to 11 under. Hasn't really been too much going right for Hyun Se Lin today. She's at 7 under par, playing the 15th, 1 over on her day, just coming off a drop shot at the 14th. Well, that'll make her feel better. Great distance control into the 15th. Start of the day at 8 under par. She's got that to return to that mark with 3 holes to play. Hwang Yo-min, bit awkward here. Ball well above her feet, trying to get to a pin cut on the right-hand side of the green and downwind. Just got to beware of a flyer lie here. Allowed for it. Just got a bit of a hot bounce, but again, not a bad miss there, just through the back. So, terrific tee shot. Will it yield a birdie for Park Do-eun? No. Just never saw that rake to the left. Oh, it's a real shame. Pull off a brave tee shot like that and just leave with a par 3. So cross to 16 and Tavatanikit with a chance to pile some pressure on your leader. This is a gentle left to right slider, but it is for birdie. Stay up. She hasn't hit it. Patty T. My goodness. Not many worse feelings in golf than leaving a birdie putt short in the jaws. Ouch. Just short of the 15th green. Chun Yi-sung. It's just rolled on a couple of feet more than she would have liked, but Yi-sung will have that to remain level for her day. A great tee shot into 14, picked up a birdie there. Not many twos on the 14th hole this Saturday. Biggest putt of the day so far for Oh Soo Min. She sits 2 clear of Bang Shin Sil. It's now for par at 16. Don't think she needs to start this one outside the hole. Just want to fall left as it loses pace. Oh. And her run of 51 straight holes without a drop shot comes to an end. It's a 3-putt at 16. Still manages to smile because she leads by 1. Now the par 4 15th here at the Tampines course really puts a premium on good driving. It's a 372 meter hole. 199 yards to carry that fairway bunker on the right hand side. You turn your tee shot over too much, there's a penalty area that flanks the entire left hand side of this par 4. The general tilt of this fairway is from right to left, and your second shot is going to be played to this elevated 2-tiered green that's 32 paces deep. And with where the pin is today on that back right step, you need to carry it at least 2/3 of the way onto the green. What's going to catch a little slope and run back down towards the front. Park Dolan looking to take it straight over that right-hand bunker. You can see the fairways have dried out nicely from how soft they were over the first 2 days with the huge amounts of rain that the Tampines course took on. And full credit to Adrian Tung and his outstanding team of hard-working greenskeeping staff. The effort that they've put in to get this course into the shape it's in today, truly remarkable. Now Shinsil, she needs to take this almost on the left edge of those right trees with her power. Looked a little late on that here. She saved it at the bottom. Uh-oh. Sounded like it clipped some trees. Where has that come out? And the lap of the gods now for Bang Shin Sil at the 15th. Easy to be a little disheartened now if you're Kim Jae-hee, but she's still level par on the day. It's a bit of a wider fairway for a player of Jae-hee's length. G2 looking out right over that fairway trap. Off the trees as well. Has she gotten a good kick? Can't quite tell from that camera angle. So, some tree trouble for Kim Jae-hee and Bang Shin Sil at the 15th. Now to 17. Plays into the wind, just like 16. Tavatanikit on the tee. Trouble left, bunkers right. Need a good one here. Try and flight this one down. Bore it through the breeze. She's always said, when she's on song, that driver is her greatest asset. It has been cooperating over the last 4 weeks, that's for sure. So how does Oh Soo-min respond to that first blemish of the week? One of a host of great Korean youngsters to be coming out of the amateur programs in South Korea over the last decade. Just watch the transition at the top. Full shoulder turn. Watch how fast she fires that left hip to start the downswing. Generates so much snap and pop through the hitting zone. She's only 15 and pretty wiry, but she can get it out there. It's almost keeping up with Patty T there on the 17th. Now across to 18, and Park Hyun Kyung coming to the end of her round. She's at 7 under, 1 under on the day. Hasn't picked up a birdie since a 3 at the 11th. She's got a chance to end her round on a high note. Currently sitting in a share of 14th place. So second shot just go through the back of 15 green, but this is a makeable chip here. Play this with dead hands. Don't want this ball checking up on you too quickly. Oh, gave it a great try. A really good try for Hwang Yo-min. It'll be a solid par for the youngster. Picked up a first KLPGA Tour title of what you would assume would be many in a playoff at the Daiwinia MBN Ladies Open last season over eventual Rookie of the Year winner Kim Min-byul. Hyun Se-lin, terrific approach into 15 to get her back to where she began the weekend. Yeah, good birdie there for Se-lin. So, she was playing pinball in the trees right of 15, but it looks like Bang Shin-sil has got herself a bit of a break here. Certainly from that camera angle, it looked like she's got a gap. Let's see if we can get our cameras just behind Bang to see exactly what she faces her. Kim Jae-hee also fortunate, got a clear path towards the green. This now her second shot. Is that going to stay up? No, it's just going to catch that slope I talked about earlier and work its way away from the pin, but safely on the green in 2. There we go. There is a gap through some trees for Bang Shin-sil. The only problem is that ball's below her feet. It looks like she's on a slight downhill lie as well, which really makes that ball want to come out low, and she needs to get this one up quick. This is when speed is such an advantage. All things considered, she's done well there. Looks like Sergio Garcia at the 1999 PGA Championship, running up that fairway, scissors kicking his way to a runner-up finish. Doyen, first cut of rough down the left-hand side. And that takes a much hotter kick and will finish up on that top level of the green at 15. Amateur leads the way, but it's a pretty bunch of leaderboard here on moving day in Singapore as another plane swoops in overhead. If you're wondering why there's so much air traffic above us, Changi International Airport voted best airport in the world once again. It's just a stone's throw from the golf course. In fact, from a couple of holes on the other course here at Tanah Country Club, the Garden Course, you literally play alongside the runway. Now zoom in. Pins cut over that greenside bunker on a little back section. She has been dialed in with those irons. So impressive, and to think she's not even legally allowed to drive a car yet. They have a wonderful talent development program in South Korea, as they do in Thailand. Tavatanikit, can she respond? Only 105 yards to the front edge of the green. Oh, unlucky. Just got that to grab a little quick, pitch on a downslope, but didn't quite kick on enough for Patty T. Yeomin on 16T. It's a pretty narrow front portion of the green where the pin is today, so a lot of players opting to just go a little long. That's okay for Hwang. we hit the closing stretch of holes here on Saturday. It's the amateur Oh Soo Min who leads by 1 over Bang Shin Sil and by 2 over a quintet of chasers. I would have expected better from Paddy Tavatanakit. This is going to be a fairly brisk putt coming down that slope for birdie at the penultimate hole. Oh, and she gets it. Wow, out of the blue, Paddy Tavatanakit cans one from distance to get within 1 of Oh Soo Min. Play that one back again. Little suspect with the wedge shot, but no mistakes with the putter for Paddy. No pictures on the scorecard in golf, folks. So Kim Jae-hee could be first to go, coming up this big rise that splits this green into 2 levels at 15. And she's managed the pace very nicely. Jae-hee remains at 10 under par. With that 2-putt par on the 15th. For Hwang Yo-min, who's also at 10 under. Opportunity to perhaps shave off another shot here. Just want a slippery slider down the slope for birdie at the par 3. Wasn't far off, good attempt there. And you have to say, with all the moving and shaking on the top of the leaderboard, it's been hard to keep track of where everyone is out on the golf course. And full credit to the wonderful team at Scoring Solutions who have lent us their services this week at the KLPGA Tour at Weston. Craig, Miriam, and the whole team do a fine job of keeping us abreast of what's going on out on the golf course. Our thanks to them here in Singapore. A little sluggish there from Park at the 15th. She, like Kim, just kind of treading water this Saturday. So, to get back to 13 under par, Oh Soo Min. She said all the answers so far this week in Singapore. Just unflappable. And look at that. Come off a 3-putt on 16. Crush a drive, flick a wedge in close, roll it in. Easy as you like it. Their advantage once again stretched to 2. Bang Shin-sil, really not much she could have done from down that low section of the 15th green. Be content with a 2-putt par after that wayward tee shot. So, can Park Hyun-kyung end with a birdie 4? This is the 5-time KLPGA Tour winner on the last. Should just move a fraction from left to right as it approaches the cup. She doesn't miss much with the flat stick. That's a nice birdie at the end for Park Hyun-kyung. 4 on the day. It's a 2 under par round of 70. 8 under par, 5 back, and well, in golf you'd like to think anyone within 5 shots of the lead going into the final round still hypothetically has a chance. Much depends on what Oh Soo Min does at this closing par 5, but it'll be Tavatanakit with the honour. Couple of bunkers down the right, a good aiming point. You tug this tee shot left, it's going to be wet. Easy to lose this out to the right to avoid that penalty area. And, oh, she's just going to stay out of the last of those bunkers. And for players like Tavatanakit and Bang, this 18th hole can be a big advantage. You're brave enough to hit that high slinging draw. You get a good kick in the fairway. Reaching this par 5 and 2 certainly an option. And from what we've seen, Oh Soo Min can shift it out there as well. She take the brave line off this tee. General tilt of this fairway is from right to left towards the penalty area. Certainly left nothing behind with that tee shot. Throwing everything at it, and that's a huge drive for Oh Soo Min. It's going to be a bit of a hanging lie for her, but the green's certainly reachable into. She's going to have to get used to the camera being on you, Soo Min. Going to see a lot of this young player in the years to come. Now, back on 16, Shin-sil. Hole in one recorder on this hole this week. We'll win a beautiful Tuxiana mattress. Those things are awfully expensive, but they sure are comfortable. Can't afford one in my house, though, having said that. A tee shot there for Bang. Signature hole here at the Tampines course. Not the longest out there, in fact, the shortest of the 4 par 3s this week. But when the wind gets up, it'll get your attention. Just be a smooth wedge or maybe even a chip 9 for Kim Jae-hee. Just a little long, but again, understandably so. That's okay. Safely aboard. Now up to 17, and Hwang Yo-min. Seen a couple birdies on this hole already from the group ahead. Get it in that back left pocket. It should feed close to this pin. Yeah, well done. Pair of good shots there. Remember, almost won the Korean Women's Open as an amateur 2 years ago. Actually finishing in a share of 4th at Rainbow Hills that week. Now, up to the last, and Roh Seong-hui. Haven't seen much of her today. 4 birdies on the card, 1 drop shot at 15. This for a closing birdie in a round of 68. Is it going to come back? It's going to try. It's in for Roh Seong-hui. Snaking it in at the last, a birdie finish. She's going to join Jung Yoon-ji at 10 under par through 3 rounds. Well, I think she can get home in 2. She's got a hybrid club out. So maybe just playing for position, and oh dear, she caught that one heavy. There's no other word for it. It was a wry smile that came off her face. I think she just straight up fatted that one. For a player who really hasn't missed a shot all day long, that one's come out of left field. Accidentally good layup from your championship leader. Now back to 16. And your 36-hole leader with this birdie putt. Sort of putting between 2 mounds here, so it's almost like putting down a little valley. Moves left to right to start, and then back towards her left as it gets to the cup, working downhill all the way. Okay, good for pace there. Solid 2-putt par, keeps her at 10 under. See a hole-in-one on this hole in the inaugural edition of the Singapore Women's Open. Tiffany Chan from Hong Kong acing this hole in the early morning wave on the Thursday, or the Friday, I should say. And remarkably, despite the fact there was a Lexus sitting out there, it wasn't the hole-in-one prize. Dalton saw this from Hwang Yo-min earlier. It's left to right, downhill, but sort of flattens out at the end. Not quite as speedy as players think. Yeah, good attempt there, just drifts by on the high side. Imagine Tiffany Chan is going to be striding around the fairways of her home course, the venerable Hong Kong Golf Club, where the Live Golf League make their 4th stop of the year this week. Abraham Anser leading by 5. Going into tomorrow's final round. Oh Soo-min, after that should I call it, interesting second shot into the last. With a little bit more club in hand than she would have liked. Still, with the great control she's had of her golf game today, you'd expect this one to be no worse than 15 feet away. Pin cut on the front right-hand corner of the green, ample room long. Don't want to come up short. There's a pretty deep bunker that guards the front section of this green. Is she dialed in or what? Another stellar iron shot from Oh Soo Min, and she'll have that for a closing birdie, and should that drop, that'll be a round of 66, the low round of the day. At first at 16, Bang Shin Sil, outside chance to halve the deficit at the top. Half a roll away for Bang. Third player in this group in the green skirt. It's just been a bit of a struggle for Lee Soo-jin 3. Over par to the turn, she's dropped 5 shots on the back nine to leave herself back at 2 under par for the championship. Oh, Patty, 2 big hits. Second shot being played out of that right rough, so just short of the green in 2. It's a bit of an awkward distance she's left herself, sort of a, not even a half wedge, a quarter wedge here. Club face wide open, trying to release that right hand under the ball, get as much zip as you can, and unfortunately just dug the leading edge in there, and that's going to get rejected by the slope short of the green. Sometimes with that front flagstick, you question the decision to try and get as close up to that green as possible. I'd rather be going in with a full wedge like Oh Soo Min and try to play a little 40-yard pitch shot to a tight front flag. Now back on 17, Park Do-eun. Fairway safely found there on the par 4. Shin-sil. Exception of the tee shot on 15. She's been driving it well throughout the course of the week. Doesn't seem too troubled with that. I'm sure someone down the fairway would have been able to figure out where that's ended up. So we go up to the green and Hwang Yo-min for birdie. Just comes down the hill here, maybe feeds right as it gets to the hole. Stayed pretty straight. Just a little unlucky there. It's a well-played hole, but it's only a par 4. Well, come on, Soo-jin. Let's try and get up and down, end on a positive note. Oh, goodness. And that is just a rotten bit of luck for Lee Soo-jin 3. Clatters into the flagstick, gets rejected, and sometimes all you can do is smile. It's a cruel game, this. Kim to round things out for the final group on 17. driven the ball nicely today. Kim Jae-hee only missed 2 fairways. But hasn't had too much to show for it. Just level par for the 3rd round. So, Patty Tavatanakit, take 2. Still with the same sort of shot to play. Does she try to fire it into the slope or play this with loft? Maybe caught in between 2 minds there, and unfortunately she's making a bit of a mess of this closing par 5, and if that doesn't go in, she is not going to be in the final group come Sunday, and it really makes such a huge difference. Be able to stare down the leader for all 18 holes. As we look back down the 17th, you see that pin tucked on the left corner of the green behind that bunker. Imagine it would be Kim Jae-hee first to go. Or will it be Park Do-eun? Certainly not going to be Bang Shin-sil with her speed and distance. It's going to be Park on the left side of the fairway. Let's see there, 5 players tied at 10 under. See that flag just over that left trap. That ridge that funnels ball towards that hole location. Where she's standing in the bunker is sort of in line with the right edge of that greenside bunker, so she doesn't want this ball to be any further right than the right edge of that trap. You can see it there. Just over the grass finger of the bunker would be a good line. Just got to make sure you cover its full number. This could be in the sand. Oh, superb shot. Excellent shot from Park Do-eun. Really played that to perfection. Hit her number. Got the release. She'll have about 4 feet for birdie. Now, Patty for a par on 18. Just drifts a little right as it loses pace. Never really hit with enough conviction, and that's going to leave a sour taste in the mouth of the tie. The only drop shot of the day comes at the par 5 18th, and she slides back into the group at 10 under par and out of the final 3 ball for tomorrow's final round. Couldn't have drawn up a better mental picture than Park Do-eun's second shot. See if Kim Jae-hee can replicate. Carried it just a little bit further on, but that'll get some help off the backstop. Okay. Pretty good shot from Kim. It's actually the left rough, Bang Shin-sil. She's going to have limited spin control on this, but when you're only coming in with a gap wedge, you can get it to stop on a dime. Terrific shot from Bang. You know, she's thinking birdie, birdie finish. What Oh Soo-min does ahead on 18 is out of her control. She's given herself a chance for 1 at the 17th. Soo-min still with a look to come at the 18th to get to 14 under par. She currently leads by 2 over Bang Shin-sil. birdie putt now for Kim Jae-hee at 17. Just a bit of left to right in this. Didn't read enough of it. So, can she end her round in style? Oh Soo Min for a 7th birdie of the day to post 14 under par. And she's done it. Well, what was her state of mind after the 3-putt on 16? Birdies on 17 and 18, an inward half of 32. And Oh Soo Min will take the lead into the final round of the Hana Financial Group Singapore Women's Open. What a display from the 15-year-old South Korean amateur. Bang Shin-sil back at 17. Could drop that deficit to just 2 again. Well holed. It's going to be a real battle with 18 to play tomorrow. Shin-sil within 2. Par 5 18th to come. Really, what a performance from Oh Soo Min. Only dropped 1 shot in 54 holes here at the Tampines course. 8 birdies through her first 2 days, 7 already today. And Park Do-eun is in a position that, should she pop this one in, nothing too crazy happens up the last, she could be in the final group for the 2nd straight day. Just wants to wander right at the cup, so this will have to be hit with good pace, even though it's slightly downhill. Oh, hit with too much pace. That's really unlucky. Such a fine shot to give herself that opportunity. Gets nothing for it. Well, go up to the last, and Jun Yi-sung level on the day. 1 under for this 9 though, after turning in 37. Third shot now coming in out of the rough. Not going to have a ton of spin on this. She's manufactured a pretty fine shot. Back on the tee, Bang Shin-sil. You can see that trouble on the left I was talking about. With her length, you want to be left of those 2 right-hand bunkers. Has been swinging with great rhythm, Bang Shin-sil. Just going to catch the right rough, so unlikely she's going to be able to reach in 2. Now, this is really where you want to be for your 3rd shot. Middle of the fairway, full wedge in hand for Hyun Se-lin. And as a result, a lot more spin control. Good shot there for Hyun. Do-eun looking a little bit further right than Shin-sil. She can take it at the first of those 2 traps. I think she's going to be able to reach those. 240 yards to them. That'll get a nice kick and release on the fairway. Shot down the left-hand side. If she could somehow find a way to birdie this 18th hole, she'll be able to take some good positives out of her round today. She's hung tough, hasn't really had her best. She's still in with a shout here in Singapore. best of angles here. Coming out of the right rough on the short-sided side of the hole. Really has to open up that club face wide, try and toss this in as high as possible. Almost like a long flop shot. You could always see just bailing out and making sure that one cleared the front edge of the green. It's really about the angles, trying to get to some of these pins at the Tampines course. Just because you're only 7 yards away doesn't mean you're guaranteed sticking it close. I don't think Hwang Yu-min's lost her turn yet. I do hope they move the tees up here on 18 for the final round tomorrow, really making it exciting. Turn this into a reachable par 5, much like they did with the 9th hole today. Just give the players the option, the opportunity to go for the green. They have eagle chances with a couple of straightforward birdie looks, but you spray it a little bit wide, easy to rack up a number. Setting here, almost a natural amphitheatre from the clubhouse back down towards this 18th hole. Who's going to be making the walk off here in 24 hours time with the second Singapore Women's Open crown. From this angle, Hwang Yu-min's going to be coming downhill slightly. Should want to move from right to left a bit at the start and then sort of peel back right when it gets to the end. Certainly more left to right in this than right to left. Screws to the left and then it should start to work its way back right. Decent pace on that for Hwang Yu-min. She left that left for a 2 under par round of 70. Remember, began the week with a rather disappointing 73, but came to life yesterday. 10 birdies and a 63 for Hwang, so she has it in her to make birdies in bunches. And for Chan Yi-sung, her lone KLPGA Tour title, coming back at the ever collagen Queen's crown in a playoff back in 2021. Runner-up at the Lotte Rent-A-Car Ladies Open to Lee Ae-won at the beginning of last year. For birdie, right to left, and then straightens up at the cup. Yeah, not to be. I have to say she's right on the fringes of contention. She'll need something special on Sunday. Kim Jae-hee, the top right half of the fairway. It's going to be a much flatter lie than her playing partners down the middle. There's a pretty severe tilt to this 18th fairway towards the water. And really, she wants to sort of hit this towards the big scoreboard in the distance. There's that left greenside bunker just short of it. And that would be the ideal place to leave this. Sort of inside of 100 yards just past the cart path. To the best angle and yardage to try to stick it close to this flag. She's spun out of a couple of shots today. Doesn't appear to be any harm done there. Of course, that's provided it stays in the fairway. Up on the green, Yin Se-lin. Oh, denied. No, it was a 9th place finish last time out to Singapore in the Singapore Women's Open. She currently sits in a share of 9th. 22-year-old will start the final round 5 shots adrift of Oh Soo Min's lead. Oh Min tidies that one up. She'll be a shot closer after a 2 under par round of 70. Tidy scorecard, no drop shots for the 20-year-old Huang. Quickly back down the fairway for Park Do-eun. Sometimes you're better off in that first cutter off. It's almost like that ball's sitting on a T-peg. She leaks that one out a fraction right, much like Kim Jae-hee. A steady par at the last for Jen Yi-sung. No ground gained with a round of level par 72. Just outside the top 10 as she hands in her card this Saturday evening. Well, Bang Shin-sil has waited for the green to clear. Eventually just opting to lay this one up, because that's just an iron for Bang. Should leave her a nice full yardage for her third shot into this 80th, and coming out of the fairway we'll be able to get much more spin into this front pin, which has got close to that big slope that caught out Paddy Tavatanik short of the green, and that deep greenside bunker as well. Bunker that's just in front of her is 100 yards to the front edge of the green. Looks like she's a good 15 yards short of that, so we'll need to pitch this right around the 120, 125 mark. Don't come up short here. Oh, excellent, really good distance control there from Bang Shin-sil. Just ventured into the first cut of rough by the looks of things from Park Do-eun. So like Shin-sil, just has to make sure she takes that front slope out of play. A little bit long's okay. She's played some brave shots on this back nine. Think about that tee shot into 14. That's a pretty brave one to pitch it on the front edge there at the last. He deserves a birdie. She's had her chances on this backside. Kim Jae-hee just avoiding that bunker. Just avoiding some divots as well. Got some good elevation on that, and best of the lot from Kim Jae-hee. So 3 final birdie looks for the last 3 players on the golf course this Saturday evening in Singapore. What a day 3 it's been here at the Hana Financial Group Singapore Women's Open. Thankfully the weather has finally cooperated. Had quite a number of players come back to the golf course at 7:30 this morning for the restart of day 2. Park Hyun-kyung actually had 10 holes to complete at 7:30 this morning. Got everyone safely into the clubhouse. Cut was made. 68 players progressing through to the weekend. 1 over par was the cut mark. Unfortunately, only one Singaporean making that cut, the 15-year-old amateur Chen Sing Tong, off the back of a 66. She included 5 birdies after she came back to the golf course this morning. Unfortunately, she would fall to around a 77 today, but the signs are good that the golf program at the Singapore Golf Association have worked so hard to rebuild over the last couple of years. It's starting to reap some rewards. Sing Tong was a member of the junior development squad, now onto the national squad, the high performance squad, as it were, and she's putting some good results together. So onwards and upwards for Singapore's Chen Sing Tong, the only local player to make the halfway cut here at the Singapore Women's Open. Again, massive kudos to the hard-working team at Tanah Merah Country Club, and particularly the Singapore Golf Association, who've put on a wonderful week despite the many challenges that the weather has presented throughout this championship. It's good to see we're back on schedule to get day 3 completed on time, and with some thunderstorms forecast for the afternoon tomorrow, I expect to see the tee times shifted up slightly so we can get Sunday done without any further interruptions. Lord knows we've already had 3 this week. Okay, back to the business of golf, and Bang Shin Sil for a closing birdie as the breeze starts to pick up. This would leave her just 1 behind with 18 to play. Just a little pacey through the break there for Bang. It's going to be at least a 2-shot cushion for Oh Soo Min heading into Sunday. Couple of birdie looks here for Park Do-won and Kim Jae-hee. And one of these drop, they're going to be in the final group alongside Shin Sil and Soo Min tomorrow. Park Do-won really deserves for this to go in. She's had quite a few opportunities and has squandered them all on this backside. And unfortunately, that putter remains ice cold for Park. Very disappointed with the way that that club's behave. Still, it's a round of 1 under par, 71. 60th on the money list last season. She's running in a tie for 3rd in the first event of 2024. Kim Jae-hee. Player that is growing in confidence, coming off a career year in 2023 on the KLPGA Tour. Just over 428 million Korean won collected in a season that saw her finish 23rd on the money list. Love for her to end with a birdie 4 here and book a spot in the final group on Sunday. Never in doubt, Kim Jae-hee will spend her 23rd birthday in the company of Bang Shin Sil and Oh Soo Min. That's your final group for this Sunday at the Singapore Women's Open. Great closing birdie there for the overnight leader. It's a round of 71 for Kim Jae-hee. we settle in for what is hopefully the final stroke in what has been a captivating Saturday afternoon at the Tampines course. Oh, crikey. A 3-putt to end the day for Bang Shin-sil. Well, she's still going to be in that final group, but it's going to be a 3-shot spread for Oh Soo-min. And much like Patty Tavatanakit, that bogey on the 18th is going to leave a bit of a sour taste in the mouth of the 20-year-old Bang Shin-sil. Still, it's a round of 2 under par 70 for her. She'll be out the company of Kim Jae-hee once again tomorrow morning. So that's it. Back on schedule. All 68 players have completed their third rounds, and it's a 15-year-old that leads the way. So why don't we reflect and look back on some of the many highlights of what was a captivating day of golf at Tanamera. We'll start with Oh Soo-min, the only player in this field that was bogey-free coming into the weekend. She wasted no time in collecting the birdies. That's a delightful approach into the difficult par 4 second, leading to a birdie. She was playing in the company of Patty Tavatanakit, who waited just one more hole to open her birdie account for the day. And at the par 3 6th, easiest flag of the 3 days, in that little hollow, Oh Soo-min collect a second birdie after a nicely placed tee shot, holding that slippery one. Then at the drivable par 4 9th, Patty Tavatanakit found the greenside bunker off the tee and really conjured up a magnificent splash out of the sand and rolled that one in center cup to get herself to 10 under par with a front 9 of 34. Bang Shin-sil playing in the final group hit a tee shot just over the back of the green, got up and down for a birdie of her own to move into a share of the lead with Kim Jae-hee. And then as we hit the back 9, Oh Soo-min would hit the afterburners. A birdie after her tee shot found some trouble, played a miraculous shot up and over the trees, and that got her into a 3-way tie at the top. But she wouldn't stay in a share of the lead for long. A birdie on the very next hole saw her hit the summit, 1 shot clear. And at the very same hole, Bang Shin-sil, well, was left wanting with a bit of a clumsy approach. I think you'll agree that this birdie putt more than made up for it. Back into a share of the lead with Oh Soo-min after that birdie from Bang. And at the par 4 15th, the colossal tee shot from the teenager only left her a little wedge into this. And watch this. Oh, off the flagstick. It wouldn't drop for an eagle too. But she'd roll this one in for yet another birdie. And once again, moved 1 clear. At 17th, just coming off a 3-putt at the 16th. You wouldn't know it, seeing how she played the hole. Striped a tee shot, stuck a wedge in close, and rolled that one in with confidence. And then at the 18th, she would end in some style. The 7th birdie of the day, a round of 66. And Oh Soo-min leads the Singapore Women's Open by 3 shots with just 18 holes to play, looking to become the first amateur to win a KLPGA Tour title since Choi Her-jin did it back in 2017. It's the teenager up top through 3 days at Tanamera, but there's still so much to play for it. Anything could happen on Championship Sunday. It's been wonderful having your company throughout the course of this Saturday. Look forward to more of the same tomorrow afternoon. Until then, this is Timothy Lowe saying have a lovely evening, and we'll see you tomorrow at Tanamera. Bye-bye for now.
안녕하세요. 2024년도 국가대표 신성고등학교 1학년 우수민입니다. 오늘 일단 세컨샷이 너무 좋았던 것 같아요. 찬스가 많이 나와서 또 그리고 그걸 또 퍼터도 많이 넣어가지고 사실 그냥 내일 우승 생각은 안 하고 그냥 5등 안에만 생각하고 좀 편하게 치고 싶어요. 일단 전 타이거 우즈를 좀 뛰어넘는 선수가 되고 싶어요.